welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for watching. If you're new here, my name is Effy and today we're going to talk about studying, exams, exam period, finals, routines and all that jazz. I also have my little Darth Vader and my little Yoda here. Next week the new Star Wars is coming out and I'm super excited. So yeah, they're gonna join us today if you don't mind. Also got my tea, which is really necessary. If you can't tell, my voice is a bit rusty and I'm blowing my nose every 5 minutes. I just got sick. Exam period got the best of me, so yay! If you don't know, I'm actually 24 years old. I am a master's student at one of the universities here in Budapest in Hungary, because this is where I live. And I am studying clinical and health psychology. So clinicians, I hope that I'm saying the right word, they usually work in hospitals, and I am just starting to learn about health psychology, so that's interesting. So all of the things about studying that I'm going to talk right now is based around how I study for these kind of classes that I have. In psychology we have to read a lot. We have to read a lot of papers, to write a lot of essays, so it's just a lot of reading and revising, also memorizing a lot of stuff. So I'm going to start about how I am preparing for studying. I think that it's a huge thing and a lot of people tend to forget about that. It's easier to get into studying if you kind of have a ritual before you actually sit down in front of your table. So what I usually do, I'm a person who likes to study more in the evening, and I feel like I'm more efficient in the evening time, so that's what I do. So usually when I come home from university or just in the on the weekend, I have this routine which helps my brain go into a space where when I start to do the routine and I start to prepare myself, my brain actually realizes that okay, now we're going to study, and that really helps. I like to clean my desk. A clean space, a clean surrounding is the #1 thing. Now, there are a lot of papers on that why it helps, but for me personally it does help. If I don't have my stuff on the same area in my room, in my study room, then I will just not find my stuff and I will don't know where I have what. I think I overdid this, but you know, so it's important. So I get out my laptop. I also always do a tea, especially when it's a winter time, it's better, but some kind of a drink. Yeah, hydrate yourself because it does wonders for your brain. Other than tea, I also always light a candle. There's also a, wow, this is hard to, but there is also a candle. Basically these are the 3 things that I always do. Also in some kind of comfy clothes, so that nothing pushes, nothing stretches, you know what, I can just concentrate to studying. After doing this whole routine, I like to just sit down first and plan out what I am going to do actually for that specific study session if I have not planned it out a week before. Sometimes I do this. During exam period it can get really hard and really confusing, so I like to prepare actually around a month before. What I usually do is I take out a piece of paper and I put down all my exams that I have, or finals, whatever, and I see what kind of dates they have written out for those specific exams, and I will try to put together like a list, like the way how I want it to work out, like on which day I want to do which exam, and I will try to stick to that when the day comes and I can apply for my exams on this online website which is called Neptune, and there are a lot of memes about it in Hungary. They're fun. It's also sad, kind of. Yeah, it can be stressful. I hate it sometimes. Anyways, this year I could apply how I wanted to, so thumbs up for that. I also kind of go through and see which class was the hardest, which class was something that I really enjoyed, and I know that it's going to be easier. You know it for yourself, which classes did you like and which classes you didn't like. And what I like to do is, first I want to go to those exams which classes were kind of easy, or those classes which I really enjoyed, and I can just be done with those in December. Kind of try to prepare for it, and then you will not get really anxious and be worked up about it and get upset that you don't have enough time. After that, for each specific exam when it comes, what I do is that I first take a look, like, how much is it? What do I have to do for it? Do I have to practice something? Do I have to memorize something for it? Do I have to read a lot for it? That's usually what I have to do. And also, an amazing tip, which is kind of obvious and some teachers don't let you know, but an amazing tip is try to prepare for a specific exam how you know that they're going to question it. That wasn't English. Anyways, so if you know that the question is going to be a multiple choice question, it's kind of easier. It can get confusing. It confuses me all the time. You have to look for the little words that can change the whole sentence, and that confuses me a lot. It's easy to just go through your notes and read a lot, so you can make the distinction between choice A or choice B, because then you don't have to recall actually all the information and write it down. There are going to be the key words that you just have to realize, like, oh yeah, I know, I read about this in that part of the book, so I know that this goes there, so I'm gonna take that one and that's going to be answer. I hope that this kind of makes sense. And of course, if you have another kind of exam, if you have an essay, you have to be a little bit more thorough, and you have to be a lot more specific, and you also have to memorize everything, because maybe they're just going to ask you, like, what was this or that, and you have to write a whole, not a whole article, but I don't know, half a page about it. So that's, I hope you're understanding what I'm saying. Like, that's going to be a different kind of preparing for the exams. So that's what I usually, oh, where are you? Yeah. I told you psychology is a field of study where you have to read a lot. If you go and want to study psychology, you will have to read a lot. Actually, where you are put right now, I am filming on my phone. It's a stack of books, and it's all psychology. And psychology books are not small, and they're heavy. They are heavy. So yeah, we have to read a lot, and there are just little kind of tips that I want to give you when you are reading. It was actually, I think, a paper about how can you memorize what you have read in the best way. They have found that if you're reading anything on your computer or on your phone, of course you're gonna memorize and you're gonna be able to memorize it, but it's not going to be as good if you would have had it on a piece of paper or in a form of a book or a textbook. Or to read in a book format, my eyes tend to get really tired after, I don't know, watching the computer for 4 hours a day. Read from a book if you can. It's more handy also because you can just use the highlighters. Highlighting can be tricky. If you feel like the teacher wants you to know everything, it won't help if you highlight the whole book. Colors really do help. It makes it more friendly. I don't want to say stupid things. I think I have read that colors do help. Reading, if you're reading one material for a long time, I feel like for me it's easier if I change it up. If I change it up and I read, for example, for half an hour child psychiatry, and then I switch it up and read a little bit about psychopathology, then it just helps me go through the reading a bit easier. Okay, we're almost at the end, so the other section that I wanted to talk about is do's and don'ts during a study session. Let me start with the don'ts. It's not helping if you have the phone around you when you're studying, What I basically do is I leave my phone in another room. If I'm in the library or I am in a coffee shop, I tend to have my phone closer to me. Obviously, don't want to lose it. Don't put it on the table, just put it in your bag. You know that you're gonna have it with you. Nobody's going to steal it. You can look after your bag still. Put it on silent mode for sure, and turn off the internet. It's really not helping you to memorize everything or try to focus on reading if you have those notifications popping up. Another don't. It's okay to grind, and it's okay to want to get that A or want to get a 5. We have 1 to 5 measurement here, like marks. 5 is the best and 1 is the worst. But it's also not helping and also not the best idea to go from 8 a.m. in the morning to 10 p.m. at night studying and not doing anything. You have to have those little breaks. You have to know when to give yourself a little bit of a downtime, and you have to know how to use that downtime when you are just not focusing on studying. You are having a study break, you just get out of that place. For example, I'm studying in my study room, and when I have a break after half an hour of reading or an hour of trying to memorize something, I get out of that space actually and do something else, not sitting at the same table. If you consider playing on your phone between 2 study sessions, that's fine. Just get out of that room, get out of that chair, and do not sit at that table where you have been studying, because your brain associates that place with studying. That's why the whole routine that I talked about is amazing, because start to do that routine, you have your little candle, you have your little tea, and then your brain is going to know that, okay, this place, these things lead me to studying. And if you get your phone out or try to relax in that same area, that's going to confuse your brain. A do is to have your study break somewhere else. It's also good if you do some kind of an exercise. So if you want to use your time efficiently when you are not studying, I suggest you eat a little snack. Snack is always good, also during studying. Something, I don't know, like nuts, fruits, something that does help your brain. Lots of water. And do a little physical activity. I don't know, go for a run or hit the gym. This leads me to my next point, another don't. Have the study break. Let yourself know how much time you're going to give yourself. There is this technique that a lot of people already have talked about, but I've also learned about it, which is the Pomodoro technique. You can download this app on your phone. Basically, you can set for how many minutes you want to study, but when you're having a longer break and I don't know, you just want to watch a Netflix episode of whichever series you are watching, it's really easy to get stuck there and don't go back to studying. I've done this a million times. You know, with Netflix, it's just one more episode. It's never going to end. Be mindful of that. Try to focus. Yeah, basically that's it. Also try to find a space which works for you. I know that I talked about which part of the day is best for you. Try to think about that, but also where is the best for you. Sometimes I feel like studying at home is so easy. I can be in my PJs, I can light my candle, I can have my tea, and it's just really relaxing, and I can just focus on whatever I have to study that day. But sometimes for me it's also better if I just go to a public space. During exam period, I'm not really going out, I'm not really socializing that much. It's not good if you're just in your room for a whole month and a half. I had this really bad experience with one exam periods that I had. It drove me crazy, literally crazy. It was so bad. Try to change it up a little bit sometime. Get your friends, get your pals. Testing is so amazing. So let's do that. It helps that there are people are actually around you. You're not going to be alone, and you will also see that you're not alone in this situation. One of the best ways to prepare for your exams is testing yourself, because basically you're putting yourself into the same situation that you're going to be in when you are at a exam. Favorite things I like to do is Quizlet. You just type it in www.quizlet.com and you can register and you can have a profile and you can have these little study cards that you can write out. That's actually what I'm doing for child psychiatry right now. My favorite is, I'm just gonna type it right now. My favorite is these study cards that it does. Play with it, you have to match the cards. There's also Gravity, that's an amazing game. Let me know down below if you have tried this one before. It's really nerve-wracking, but it's really fun. You go onto Spotify, there are a few playlists that you can use. I just usually type in studying playlist, which is called Just Focus. It was actually created by Spotify. There are 113 songs, 5 hours and 28 minutes. So that's a lot of music, and it does help me a lot. It's really important to listen to music where people are not singing, so there are not vocals in the music and it's just instrumental, because if there are actual lyrics, then it can interfere with what you're reading. Listen to instrumentals because that helps a whole lot. Kind of talked about all the things that I wanted to talk about. If I have left something out or if I wasn't clear on something, just leave me a comment down below. For me, the routine is really important and I do highly recommend it. That's why I'm stressing it so much, because it does help me a lot. And also apologies for my voice and my stuffy nose. I just got sick yesterday and I am dealing with it right now. I put on makeup so that kind of helped make me feel a bit better about myself. Yeah, I'm trying to be realistic but also not trying to be rude for you to have to see my face like that. Maybe I should have said this in the first few seconds of this video, but there is one thing that one of my teachers told me. We tend to forget about why we started. You are not studying for anyone else. You're not studying for your teachers, you're not studying for the university, you're not studying for your parents, you're not studying, or you should not be studying to compete with your friends or your peers. You should be studying for yourself. If you have this power, if you have the power of knowledge, that is one thing. This is my grandma says, but it's so true. This is one thing that nobody can take away from you. No one. I think this is so important, that if you want to be a free, a open-minded, a positive, intelligent, independent young man or woman, then this is one thing that you have to do for yourself. Just study, just broaden your spectrum, just get to know this beautiful world that we're living in. It's stressful and it can get really dark, but honestly there are a lot of damn good things happening in this world. And if you have the right mindset and if you have that positivity and you add that little knowledge with studying to it, then the world is yours. Yeah. Wow, this got deep. I also tend to forget this, that I'm not studying for my teachers. I am studying for myself because I want to be a damn good psychologist. I want to help people. I want to understand people well. So that's my tea on that. Anyways, you guys, thank you so much for watching this video. If you are still here, please give this a thumbs up. If you are not subscribed then you can do that just down below. Wish me luck on my exams for next week. I don't like studying when I am sick and I just want to curl up in my bed. I also love this out. Do not study in your bed because you are going to fall asleep. But I am wishing so much luck for you guys, so much strength. I am just spreading the energy for you guys to be able to study and to be able to grind. My Instagram is also down below. So yeah, these are my tips and my tricks and my routine and my whole take on studying right now with this whole mindset that I have right now. I hope that it really did help you, and thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next one. Shoot, guys, I have finished up this video and I am also doing another video at the same time, and I just got confused. If you've been following me on Instagram, you would know that I have a announcement for you. It is a big thing, so I will try to upload every week from now on. I just found that it's relaxing for me. I need to do something creative. I was uploading every 2 weeks and I really did miss editing part and just I don't know, just putting on content and just talking and chatting with you guys, talking to my camera. So yeah, this is the thing that I've been wanting to announce. There have also been a few people sliding into my DMs and asking me if I will do this kind of video or that kind of video, which really makes me happy because this is like, this whole YouTube thing is a passion project for me, and this just a big positive feedback that you're actually liking what I am doing here. So yeah, this is the thing that I will be uploading, or I will try to. Don't come at me if I don't. Yeah, that could make me anxious. Okay, so please don't come at me. You can hold me accountable because I am a woman of my words, but we will see. If life gets hard, you know, things come around and go around, but I will try to do this. Thank you so much if you have been with me from the start. Thank you so much for supporting me. I will see you guys in my next video. Thanks for watching me so much. I love you guys. Bye.